in a very impressive and, I mean, frankly, even to me, somewhat unexpected display of just boxing skill. Ryoichi Taguchi manages to both defend his WBA light flyweight championship as well as take Milan Melindo's IBF light flyweight championship and become the newly crowned Ring Magazine light flyweight champion of the world. Great fight, great performance from Taguchi, great effort from Melindo, of course. But Taguchi just outboxed him, man. Taguchi, from the opening round, he was looking to kind of set a high pace, shoot the jab out there. Melindo, I thought, was able to edge the first round with some really good power shots, especially at the end of it. Landed a couple of nice, short, sharp hooks. Had some pretty good moments here and there in certain rounds as well throughout the fight, particularly throughout the first about 7-8 rounds. But as the fight told on and the fight pressed on, Taguchi just gained more and more control pretty much with each passing round. Just the amount of volume, the variety of punches, the fact that he was kind of punching and then slipping under what Melindo would throw. He was really frustrating Melindo quite a bit with regards to Melindo's headshots. You know, Melindo was missing like crazy. Taguchi was showing very, very nice kind of subtle head movement side to side. He was in almost like what you kind of consider like the power stance or the athletic stance. Like if any of you guys have ever played like basketball or football, where, you know, they want your knees kind of slightly bent, you know, ready to kind of explode. That's how Taguchi was, you know, he had his body kind of slightly hunched over bent, you know, just ready to ratchet off combinations, ratchet off, you know, hard punches. And, you know, he's not exactly a knockout artist. He's not like a bomber or like a supremely heavy-handed puncher, Taguchi. But he's a guy that punches, you know, with force on pretty much every shot, and you know he just punches in constant streams of combinations, and just was able to outwork Melindo and frustrate him quite a bit. You know, he was actually doing a really good job too of kind of semi-circling Melindo. He would just constantly take short little steps, particularly to the left side, occasionally to the right as well, but just kind of circling Melindo at the center of the ring. And, you know, putting on kind of like smart pressure. He would kind of circle him and press him, circle him and press him, and just constant with that. And constantly putting that jab out there. That jab was just like a jackhammer. And it was making Melindo, I think twice, you know, 3 times before he would eventually start launching his own shots. And I think that, along with the pace of the fight, along with the fact that Melindo was missing quite a few of his shots, really took a toll on Melindo as it got into the late rounds. I think probably the 8th round was where Taguchi really started to take full control, and you could even hear the crowd, you know, starting to chant because he managed to kind of momentarily knock Melindo off balance, and then he was really pressing forward on him and landed some good shots. You know, of course, Melindo was fighting back, you know, showing heart, you know, showing courage and everything throughout the fight, trying to, you know, lay into Taguchi. Once his headshots really started missing quite a bit, he started going to the body a little bit more, started engaging in some clinches. You know, he would throw a combination to the body, then he'd immediately clinch, trying to throw Taguchi off his rhythm. But Taguchi was just able to gain that rhythm back almost like as he pleased, and made it look almost a little bit easy in there. And so, you know, this is a great win for Taguchi. You know, in spite of the fact that some people may kind of consider him in the shadow of somebody like a Naoya Inoue, who incidentally beat him a few years back before they both would become champions at light flyweight, and then Inoue would go on to become a champ at super flyweight as well. Taguchi's put on just a great winning streak since then. You know, he managed to win the title against Alberto Rosell, and this is what now his 7th successful defense of the WBA light flyweight title. And now he has the IBF title, he has the Ring Magazine title, and it's looking like we're on to bigger things. Bigger things may be lying ahead, because it's apparent as though there might be a unification in store for him and the WBC champion Kenshiro, who also managed to successfully defend his title yesterday on the Naoya Inoue Yon Boyao undercard, where he knocked out Gilberto Pedrosa. I'm going to do a post-fight review on that as well, because I managed to finally get a copy of it. But just a fantastic win for Taguchi, man. Like I said, he made it look relatively easy. Although the judges had it a bit closer than I did. I scored it 10 rounds to 2 for Taguchi. 2 of the judges scored it 9 rounds to 3, and the third judge had it 116-111, so it'd be like 9 rounds, 8 rounds to 3 with 1 even, based on that scoring. All for Taguchi. Fantastic win for him. The only thing that may kind of scuttle the plans of potentially unifying further against Kenshiro immediately might be the fact that I believe Heki Butler might actually be contractually owed a rematch from the IBF. Because before the Melindo versus Taguchi fight was made, originally it was going to be Taguchi unifying against the then WBO champ Kosei Tanaka, and it appeared as though Butler was going to get a rematch mandated against Milan Melindo for the IBF title. And then also the other thing might be Taguchi may have to fight Carlos Canizales to defend the WBA mandatory position as well sometime soon. So either or even both of those fights may somewhat stand in the way of Taguchi further unifying and consolidating the belts against Kenshiro, which would be unfortunate. But, I mean, regardless of whether he gets stripped or whatever happens with regards to the situation of Butler and Canizales and their shots and everything, Taguchi has kind of established himself as, at the very least, the top guy of the division, if not necessarily the lineal champ. To me and like also to the TBRB, to get the lineal title, it's got to run through Kenshiro. Kenshiro versus Taguchi becomes the lineal champion. But I would now rate Taguchi just above Shiro. I'd slot him in as the number one fighter in the division with this win, along with the body of work that he has thus far. In spite of the fact that Shiro has two excellent wins over Guevara and Lopez recently, this win just slightly slots him in above to me. Fantastic win, and the manner of victory that he did it in was excellent. Just pure excellence from Taguchi. Solid skills from him. But it might be maybe the most purely skilled textbook boxer in Japan right now. Actually, now he's a little bit more of like a unorthodox kind of an athletic style in comparison. Daigo Higa more of like a pressuring, high impact, high volume, power style. Kyoguchi's actually really good too. I'm going to be doing a post-fight review of Kyoguchi's defense against Carlos Buitrago, which was also on this card as well. But fantastic win for Taguchi. Melindo, I'd imagine, may actually wind up moving up in weight based off of this loss, considering the fact that he has fought at flyweight in the past and it has had a number of difficulties making 108 in the past. And who knows, maybe 108 is just too much for him to make at this point as well. Maybe some of his stamina issues that he showed in this fight, as well as his past fights, may be due to the fact that he's cutting so much weight to make 108 that it's taken something out of him in terms of his actual endurance. I'm looking at the ratings right now too. It looks like in spite of the situation with Butler and Melindo, I don't know, maybe Butler and Melindo will rematch even without a title on the line. But Felix Alvarado, I forgot about Felix Alvarado. He's actually a knockout artist, fighter from Nicaragua, a stablemate of Chocolatitos. Is actually going to be owed his IBF mandatory shot sometime pretty soon. Yeah, I forgot about that. He recently just knocked out Falan Saklirin Jr., son of the former champion back in the 90s, in 3 rounds. Really, really good win for Alvarado. So Alvarado might loom as a really, really enticing opponent for Taguchi. I think that's a really, really good fight. You got a high-volume boxer in Taguchi versus a bona fide puncher. Guy with, I think it's 28 knockouts and 30 wins in Felix Alvarado. That's a really good fight. And then if he rematches Carlos Canizales, a good kind of stick and move outside boxer in Canizales. And that's only if the fight with Shiro isn't able to happen immediately, which hopefully it is. Although Shiro may have to wind up rematching Ganigan Lopez at some point in the near future as well. Hopefully all the mandatory positioning and such gets taken care of, and we get that nice big unification for all the marbles, or at least for the lineal, like true lineal titleage on the line. And we get it done, man. Taguchi's doing big things, showing himself to have a really, really great flourishing career, in spite of having a couple of losses earlier on to fighters that there isn't too much shame in losing against, especially considering the fact that he put up a really good fight against Inoue in their bout from a few years back. So that's gonna do it for this one. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.